Here's what most people get wrong. Skin has repair windows. If you keep moving your bedtime, you keep missing them. You keep kind of confusing your skin.
And the big three windows we care about tonight are melatonin onset, the growth hormone pulse, and overnight barrier recovery.
The reason is you don't need a perfect life, as we stated before. What you need is a repeatable window.
Let's put the science into normal language. 1, your skin has circadian gene expression. Timing turns programs on and off, including repair programs, so your biological onset of repair.
In other words, your skin has a schedule.
2, transepidermal water loss, which is water loss through the skin, and it follows a rhythm as well. When timing is unstable, barrier recovery gets messy and you wake up drier, more reactive, and more textured.
In other words, you didn't randomly wake up dull.
Exactly. And 3, collagen synthesis timing is coordinated by circadian rhythm. It's not that collagen only happens at night, like only gets produced at night. It's that your clock helps coordinate when the machinery runs best.
Factory schedule. Same start time, better output. Let's make it obvious. 3 common tells.
Okay. 1, dull tone even with a good routine.
2, slow healing or slower healing after treatments or actives.
3, the eye area looking more crepey and dehydrated.
If you relate to any of that or to all of them, you do not need to necessarily panic, but what you need is to stabilize timing. There's not a procedure, a product, or an active that can outwork poor sleep quality.
Trust me, we know.
Yeah.
Consistency unlocks repair windows. And that's really what we're after. And I see a lot of people say these days, like, I protect my skin, my sleep, like I protect my calendar and things like that. And again, sometimes life happens, and for some of us, and I know it's so many parents these days. I mean, if you're in the same
phase of life,
age window of your kids, from birth to, I don't know, I
Two-
hear now
two-
5 years
We didn't
old.
discover it.
Yes. Sometimes you can't you can't reach the proper number of hours, or you can't reach the depth of sleep sometimes, but let's at least try our best to get the windows of sleep done right. And that's what we figured out for ourselves in the last 2 years of no sleep, no good sleep. And that's what we're sharing. Again, so consistency unlocks repair windows, like we already mentioned. And these are the key ones. So the melatonin window, the growth hormone release window, or pulse, and the barrier recovery. So let's focus on those and break them down.
And you're correct to say, again, we have a skincare company. We pride ourselves on being basically the topical arm of longevity science. And in the last, 2 years or a little bit more than that, we basically were looking for this ingredient. We were looking for an ingredient that will allow us to, or our skin to perform its best. Yeah. Although life handed us an amazing child that doesn't believe in sleep. So
and truthfully, we were looking for this ingredient, yes, for our skin health, and this is what we're going to be talking about here. But in some other podcasts, we talked about, let's say, just an example, creatine being something that can maybe offset sleep depth. So, of course, sleep has affected our lives in many, many different phases. But yes, I mean, it's crazy the impact of sleep on skin health.
Yeah.
So,
well, what I was getting to is that we discovered the ingredient is not necessarily the hours.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's the consistency.
Yeah.
So here's the what we consider is the protocol, simple rules to follow and not necessarily a calendar.
Okay, yes. So rule number 1, keep bedtime within a 60-minute window. So every time you go to sleep should be within the 60-minute window. So for some people, we'll get into the hours, but let's say, maybe you'll get into the hours.
So, for most people, a clean example is like, 11 p.m. to midnight.
Yes. Rule 2, protect melatonin onset. So for the melatonin to come, it needs a certain environment. So low light, less stimulation from screens. You're telling your body night shifts starts now.
And I think, we can borrow the examples we were talking about when we were talking about oxytocin release during labor, right?
Yes.
So you want to tell us about that?
Well, yes, of course. When it comes to give natural unmedicated birth, in order for oxytocin to come and stimulate the onset of all the hormones that later will basically result in your body producing the amount of endorphins that you won't feel the contractions or will feel them, will basically cover the pain, dull the pain. In order for oxytocin to come in and do all that important work, it's basically needs to be like you're in a cave. You need to think about and then one other example that was given, which is less relatable to sleep, but it really painted the picture to me when I was getting ready to give birth. It's like it has to be the environment where you can poop. So
kind of. No, I think it still applies. You
have to feel very safe. You have to feel very comfortable, very at ease. And yes, believe it or not, it's easy to believe. It still comes all from evolution, us and if you look now in the animal kingdom, the animals are giving birth kind of like in a cave. So it has to be low to non-light, and you have to feel very safe. If you feel like there is any kind of danger, or bringing it back to the current situation, like you're in a medical setting and in the room and 3 strangers look at you, it's really hard to get to that level of oxytocin.
But even bringing it back to sleep, a lot has been talked about basically the current environment that humans live in, where, a tiger's not going to chase us for dinner. Not for our dinner, not for their dinner. And our brain is still wired to perceive danger, as there is a baseline for, perception of danger. So normal things like, the essay that you need to conduct tomorrow, or the conversation with your boss, or maybe you don't like someone at work, or whatever that is that you're thinking about for tomorrow, the amount of emotional and stressful impact it has on you is equivalent to the most severe scenario when you were living in a cave, right?
Yeah.
So I think what I'm trying to say is that safety is a perception. And one of the most important things for a healthy, the healthiest, optimized sleep is the cultivation of the feeling of safety.